Marfoogle News going live in 3, 2. All right, what is going on, guys? It is Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. We're going to go over some really, really important stories, and again, this is something that we've talked about and obviously been following for a while now. France says that 26 countries have now committed to a Ukraine deployment if a peace is agreed. Now, if you've been following this, obviously the huge deal for Putin is that he does not want any NATO soldiers on his border, let alone now 26 countries in Ukraine because of some peace he hasn't agreed to yet. Now, why would he agree to actually have 26 different countries with their soldiers right on his border in a place where he absolutely wouldn't accept that? I don't know. But again, I don't think he's going to accept this. And now you have 26 countries that are essentially agreeing to go in. Is this a step for them to go in if there is some sort of peace and then there's a Fantastic Freddy? Is this a step for them to possibly say, hey, well, we've already agreed to go in. Why don't we just go in and fight this war? Why don't we just add them to NATO? What is this? Again, is it just a bunch of smoke up our run? I don't know. But again, it is pretty crazy. Over 24 countries have pledged to take part in a force to be you've deployed in Ukraine after any peace accord with Russia, aiming to deter Moscow from ever again attacking its neighbor. French President Emmanuel Macron announced on Thursday a reassurance force. Yes, that's what they're calling it. A reassurance force for Ukraine is a key pillar of the security guarantees coalition of mainly European countries want to offer to Ukraine if the war ends via a peace deal or a ceasefire. However, there is also growing concern that Russian President Vladimir Putin is currently showing no interest in a peace accord, with alarm intensifying after his high-profile visit to Beijing this week. So after he shores things up with his ally, you've got Kim Jong-un and you have, of course, you have Xi Jinping basically talking to them and saying, hey, we're no limits partners. We got your back. You've got ours. Yeah, I don't think he's going to say peace. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think that this is about to go full peace and he's going to say, hey, you know what? Forget about what I said. NATO countries are awesome on my border. Bring all 26 of them and hang out on my wall. Again, before we move on, I want to remind you guys, make sure to go check out EMP Shield. This is one of our recommendations as far as if you want to get home to your family or get out to bug out after multiple EMP strikes or a Carrington-level event from the sun, then you definitely want to have EMP technology, EMP Shield technology on your cars, vehicles, trucks, motorcycles, boats, generators, and so on. You can even get one for your home that will turn your entire home into an entire surge protector. So again, this is not just your normal surge protector. You'd get it Fred Meyer. In fact, this is military grade stuff. This is the same technology that is being used by FBI, DHS, DOD, or I guess now DOW, Department of War, and of course, many, many more. So make sure to go check it out, marfooglenews.com/EMP, and make sure to use the code MARF. This is very easy to put in your car, under 10 minutes. Anybody can do it. You don't need somebody to assist you in this. Quick YouTube video, 3 wires, red to red on your battery, black to black on your battery, and then green to ground or part of your chassis, and then you're good. You're getting home to your family or getting out to bug out. marfooglenews.com/EMP, $50 off per device with every use of that code MARF. All right. And then let's bring in my co/internet brother, Dex James. What is going on and how are you doing today?
Hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
So let's talk about the other warning, and this is just yet another sign and a step towards World War III.
Look, this is an ominous warning. It's coming from Iran, and we've seen these before, and when we've seen them before, they were usually right. They usually talked about being prepared for strikes. So Iranian officials have warned that they've now moved their armed forces to the heightened alert, and they're preparing a significantly strengthened military posture, emphasizing the likelihood of the conflict with Israel is very high. So they're expecting a strike from Israel. They're expecting an escalation. So a conflict would likely inflict heavy civilian casualties and destroy key infrastructure in the combat zones. Neighboring countries risk spillover from missiles, drones, and regional unrest, while Houthi activity could further escalate tensions, potentially dragging the U.S. back into the war. So that'll be interesting to see if we get dragged in, if we'll just do missile defense like we did last time, or if we'll actually do something a little bit more like we did with the nuclear bases or the nuclear enrichment sites.
So there's also there's things that go right alongside this. We're going to talk more about just a ton more stuff on our next show, but there's other stories like they have now spotted aircraft carriers in the Middle East. There are, of course, the destroyers and the different ships that are down by Venezuela. Venezuela is essentially preparing. All of these things does not say that this is happening today or tomorrow, but this does look like it's a few months out where every country is preparing for something. Now, if this goes the way that I think it will go, I think that at some point in the next 6 months to 2 years, farthest out is like 2027, you'll have Iran go to war with Israel, which we back up Israel. You'll have Venezuela go to war with Guyana and try to take their resources. You'll have us backing Guyana. North Korea will try to attack South Korea. We will back South Korea. Russia will go to war with Ukraine. NATO will be backing up Ukraine. Obviously, they are in the talks right now about all of this craziness. And then China will go after Taiwan. Japan and the U.S. and Australia, the Trilateral Alliance, as you call it, will be trying to back up Taiwan. So, and of course, even if we didn't jump in on Taiwan, Japan is, and we're supposed to, at this point now back up Japan. So it's like, this is insane. This is literally playing out exactly how I thought it would. And it's really, really nerve-wracking to say the least. But this isn't the end of the world. This is just the start of our next really, really big war. And for those of you that have men and women and family members in the service, I'm praying for them, and I do believe that this is going to happen very, very soon. So again, this was something that I caught this morning, about 8:30 this morning. I saw this, and I thought, man, this is just yet another sign too. The Pentagon is doubling down on alternatives to GPS that aren't in space. Now, some of you may have your own view on why they're doing that, but again, this also might tell you that they are worried about the assets in space getting taken out, and that is why they are doubling down on having a backup. Now, we know that China and other countries are now basically burrowed into our infrastructure. We're talking about our power grid, our communications. China and Russia both have weapons that can take out our satellites. These are all things that we've covered. Every single day, there is one part of the puzzle that just keeps adding on to a massive 1,000-piece puzzle that is World War III, and this is exactly just another part of it. So you can go in and read the details of this. It's a DARPA / the phase 1 of this contract, but you go look at it. You'll see what we mean. This is an alternative to the GPS because they obviously believe something might go down. Again, make sure to go check that out. The links and full bibliography of every single article, tweet, video, picture, document of every source is on our website over on marfooglenews.com. You can find that right in the description down below, or of course, just go to marfooglenews.com. Again, we'll see you over in just a few minutes over on Marfoogle TV. We're going to cover the rest of what happened in the last 24 hours. We're going to talk about the escalations that just happened. Of course, our warships were just put in a very close proximity to Venezuela. We're going to talk about that and much, much more over on Marfoogle TV. If you're in the chat, just stay there. You'll be ported over. If you are watching the replay, all you have to do is click here. We'll see you in just a minute. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out.